In the last video, at the end, I told you to write comparison between SN1 and SN2, distinguish between SN2 and SN1 reaction. So I have summarized some differences between SN2 and SN1 reaction. See, this is second order reaction. It means rate of SN2 reaction depends upon alkyl halide as well as OH minus. Two molecules are involved in this reaction, so its order is 2. And here one molecule is involved in the reaction, so its order is 1. So kinetics tells that SN2 is second order reaction and SN1 is first order reaction. Molecularity, it is SN2, so substitution nucleophilic bimolecular, and this is unimolecular reaction. How many steps are involved in this reaction? SN2 reaction is carried out in one step and SN1 reaction takes place in two steps. How is bond breaking process and formation process? In SN2, CBr bond breaking and formation of COH. Both these processes are carried out simultaneously. And in SN1 reaction, first breaking of CBr bond and it results in the formation of carbonium ion, and then there is formation of product. So first there is breaking of CBr and then there is formation of a product. Next one is attack of OH minus. So here OH minus attacks from backside. Here already carbonium ion is there, so OH minus can attack from any side. Br minus is not there to stop attack of OH minus. So front side as well as back side attack of OH minus is possible in SN1 reaction. If substrate is optically active, then what is the stereochemistry? Due to backside attack, we get flipped umbrella like structure. We discuss in SN2 mechanism. So there is inversion in configuration. And here both side attack of nucleophile is possible. So we get 50% product with same configuration, same position as that of Br, and 50% products are formed with the position of OH exactly opposite to that of Br. So racemization takes place in SN1 reaction. Alkyl halide, if it is primary, then it undergoes SN2 reaction, and if it is tertiary alkyl halide, it undergoes SN1 reaction. Solvent, if non-polar solvent, then it prefers SN2 reaction, and polar solvent favors SN1 reaction. Nucleophile, SN2 reaction rate depends upon nucleophile, so strong nucleophile is required for SN2 reaction and weak nucleophile is required for SN1 reaction, because rate of SN1 reaction does not depend upon OH minus ion concentration. It is independent of rate of SN1 reaction is independent of concentration of nucleophile. So weak nucleophile causes SN1 reaction. Next one is intermediate formed in this SN2 reaction. There is no intermediate. Intermediate means the substance isolated during the reaction. We get transition state, but transition state is not stable. I told you last time, it is not isolated. We cannot take it outside the reaction mixture and observe how is the transition state and all. I told you that it is highly unstable. So there is no intermediate in SN2 reaction, but in SN1 reaction there is formation of a carbocation. So we get here intermediate. And transition state, there is only one transition state formed in SN2 reaction. In SN1 there are two transition states. They have not shown these transition states in our textbook. I will tell you how do we get these two transition states. See, for example, SN1 reaction means tertiary butyl bromide, right? Hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide. So first, in what happens in the first transition state? CBr bond starts breaking. So there is partial breaking of CBr bond. Then CBr bond breaks completely and we get this carbonium ion. Then OH minus attacks this carbonium ion and COH bond is not formed permanently. A partial bond is formed between these two COH. I have shown here a dotted line. Here also dotted line. Dotted line means bond formation process is started but complete bond is not formed between carbon and OH group, and here at last COH permanent bond is formed. So partial breaking of CBr is first transition state and partial formation of COH is second transition state. Thus in SN1 reaction there are two transition states. So many times they ask the question, distinguish between SN1 and SN2 reaction.